yeah, personal narratives are so important for one's self-image, for how others view one, and for motivation. But what really struck me is how you mentioned that you had this cold anger, and I was wondering, cold anger, hot anger, is that kind of beneficial to motivate a person and to push them to do better?
I think anger is a much misunderstood concept in public life. In fact, I'll tell you about an experience I had recently. I was at the Tony Blair Institute conference, hashtag Blairfest, as we were affectionately calling it. It was the glossiest, most amazingly produced conference, right? And there were, Tony Blair and all sorts of amazing speakers. And Jamie Oliver got on stage. Now, I don't know what you think about Jamie Oliver, but I would say I was probably net negative about Jamie Oliver before he got on stage. He got on stage and he was being interviewed by Emily Maitlis, and he was furious. He was so angry. He was almost uncontrollably angry. And I've never seen an expression of anger like that in the public realm. And he was angry about free school meals children and the families he's been working with whose children are hungry at school. And it cut through like a hot knife in butter. It was incredible. He got a standing ovation. I think it's the thing that everyone that day will remember. It was just such a stark contrast to what was going on elsewhere. And it reminded me of the value of anger. When we used to work with parents, one of the reasons it didn't work working with parents early on in my career was because I was never honest with them about why I wanted to work with them. And I wanted to work with them because I was angry that their children weren't getting decent life chances. But I never told them that. And when I shared the data about what kids in their postcode might expect from life, they were angry too. And then we were angry together. And then we worked together for change. And so it's about working with anger, not suppressing it, but working with anger to convert it into action. It's almost oxygenating the action. But I do think that distinction between hot and cold anger, we talk about it in community organising, and it's a really important distinction, which is acting in hot anger is not what we want. We want that anger to cool a little so that we can make the assessments about how we can change things, that we can be really strategic and become more powerful to change the things that are making us angry. In fact, if you're interested in like community organising and particularly the storytelling elements, there's a great free course at the Harvard Kennedy School called Public Narrative with a guy called Marshall Gans, which I highly recommend. The story of self, us and now, which deals with anger, but also deals about how you can share your own anger, bring someone into it, get to hear their story, and then work together. So the story of self, us and now. So yeah, don't be afraid of anger. Work with it is one of the lessons of the past few years for me.